Yeah, good evening, one and all. So the topic is about JSTL SQL tags. Okay, so JSTL contains many tags which simplifies the JSP programming. Okay, in spite of learning many scriptlet tags inside JSP, so we will learn a minimum tags in JSTL. So the JSTL simplifies the JSP programming. Okay, JSTL tags are categorized into five types. So first one is core tags, function tags, JSTL formatting tags, JSTL XML tags, and JSTL SQL tags. So core tags contain syntaxes to create variables, to print variables. So how to use decision making statements like if condition or when condition, or we can use for each condition. These are all exist in JSTL core tags. And JSTL function tag contains string manipulation functions. For example, I want to convert my string into uppercase. I want to convert my string into lowercase. I want to know the length of the string. So these type of syntaxes are available in the JSTL function tags. Coming to JSTL formatting tags, the name itself is saying it is used for formatting. Okay, you can format numbers, you can format percentages, you can format currency. Okay, you can format date, time. Okay, and JSTL XML tags are used to operate on XML documents, and our concentration on this tutorial is JSTL SQL tags. Okay, so JSTL SQL tags means we are talking about database connectivity. So JSTL SQL tag means we are talking about database connectivity. That means we are connecting our JSP program. Okay, we are connecting our JSP program to a backend database, for example MySQL, using JSTL SQL tags. That means JSTL SQL tags contain some tags which are used to connect our JSP program to backend. Okay, and we can execute some queries like select, insert, update. Like that, we can execute some queries on the DBMS table using JSTL tags. Okay, while you are writing or using database connectivity programs, then you must include a header file like this. See here. So SQL, you observe here, http java.com/jsp/jstl/sql prefix equal to sql. Okay, now JSTL supports the following tags to support database connectivity. First one is set data source, second one is query, third one is update, fourth one is param, fifth one is date param, and sixth one is transaction. Okay, now the first one is set data source. So this tag is used to create a simple data source configuration variable and saves the data source information in a scoped variable. That means you can establish a connection to the backend database. It means you can establish a connection with the backend database. For example, my system contains MySQL. So I will connect my JSP program to backend database. Okay, and I will create a data source so which resembles the mirror image of the original data table. Okay, so that is what is called scoped variable. The scoped variable can be used as input to the other JSTL database actions. That means the first thing you have to do while executing JSP JDBC program means you have to create a data source. So to create data source, we are going to use set data source tag. Okay, set data source tag. So this will establish a connection between your program and the backend database. Okay, and it will create one variable, okay, which resembles the original database. And this is the syntax. See here SQL. So this SQL from this one. See here SQL. So SQL set data source. So my scoped variable name is DB. So DB represents data source. That means DB represents the original database. It's like a mirror image. It's like a snapshot. So you can perform operations on the DB so that these operations will be reflected in the backend database. Okay, and for example, I'm trying to connect my source program with MySQL. Okay, so see here com.mysql. Okay, I'm trying to connect my JSP program with backend database MySQL. Okay, so MySQL is stored in my local system. See here localhost, and I'm going to use one database called MCA. So I'm going to create one database in the MySQL database, that is MCA. So from that MCA, I will try to operate on some table in the MCA database, and my SQL database username, for example, root, and password is root. Okay, SQL data source is used to establish a connection between your source program and backend database. The second tag is SQL query. Okay, used to execute the SQL query defined in its data source. Okay, used to execute SQL query defined in its data source. That means database connection. So SQL query makes use of the scoped variable which is created in the previous tag, and it will execute some SQL statement, for example select statement, which is specified in the body of the SQL query tag. Okay, you can specify some select statement using SQL query tag. See here are some variables attributes. So where represents the variable to hold the SQL query result. So inside SQL query, for example, there is a select statement. So if a select statement is executed on the DB, then the result will be held by this variable. Okay, so now you are connected to the database, and database contain a table contain n number of rows. For example, from which row I want to get information, it specifies in the start row attribute, and how many rows you want to retrieve, it specifies in the max rows. So this is the syntax: SQL query, okay, data source equal to $db. So this db is from here. So this represents a snapshot of original database. I'm creating one variable result. So if the statement is executed, okay, the result will be available in this variable result. For example, 5 rows are retrieved. So these 5 rows will be held by the result. Okay, and close the SQL query. Okay, so first syntax is to create database connection, and second one is to execute database connection, to execute SQL query. Okay, now a small modification is SQL query is used to execute only select statements. So if you want to execute any DML statements like insert, update, delete, then you have to go for SQL update statement. See here, used to execute the SQL DML query. So DML query is defined in its SQL attribute or in the tag body. For example, insert, update, delete are DML operations. See here, SQL update, so data source equal to $db. You can take any variable. I'm taking it as count. Okay, now the DML query is I'm trying to insert values into the EMP table. Okay, values are like this. I'm closing the SQL update. Okay, you can also write update statement here. You can also write delete statement here. The only difference between SQL query and SQL update is SQL query is only for select statements. So SQL update is for DML statements. Now another important tag is param tag. So using param tag, so you can insert values into the so-called DBMS table. For example, using text box. For example, I will design a HTML form which contain text boxes. Okay, if user enters any value in the text box, then these text box values will be placed in the DBMS tables. Okay, the user entered values in the text box are updated into the users table. So that is what is called param tag. Okay, used to set the values of parameters specified in the SQL query or SQL update tag. Okay, for example, select star from employee where enumber equal to question mark. So the question mark logic will be supplied from the text box logic. So at that time I will go for SQL param tag. Okay, we can insert values into the database table dynamically. For example, user may enter values in the guide text boxes, then these values are copied or updated into the existing database. Okay, so another variant of SQL param is SQL date param. So the only change is you can supply date value and time value using SQL date param. You can supply a date value or time value, okay, to your SQL query and SQL update tags. That means SQL date param is used along with SQL query and SQL update statements. Okay, and the last one is SQL transaction statement. So transaction is nothing but in DBMS you can say transaction contains so n number of operations, atomic operations. Okay, so inside SQL transaction, okay, we can place multiple update statements. We can place multiple update statements. So here SQL updates. So for example, SQL transaction contains so 5 SQL update statements. Okay, if a transaction statement begins, then all the 5 transactions, 5 update transactions must be executed. Otherwise, all the transactions will be rolled back. So that is what is called transaction property. So imagine a transaction contains 5 SQL update statements. Okay, if first statement has been started executing, then remaining 4 statements also must be executed. Okay, if any SQL update statement fails in the middle, then all the transactions will be rolled back. Okay, transaction once begin, then all the statements inside the transaction must be executed. That is the property of transaction. Okay, let's recall these statements again. So 5 type of tags. First one is to establish. See here I'm writing to establish database connection, to execute SQL statements. Next, to execute DML statements, to supply values. So DB table dynamically. Now, to supply date and time values dynamically to DB table. DB table in the sense query. Okay, using query. Let me write it here. Using query. Okay, using query. And last one is transaction. Contains, for example, n number of SQL update statements. Okay, following transaction properties. So that is either all the statements inside the transaction are executed, or none of them are executed. Okay, observe this minimum text is enough to connect your JSP program to JDBC. For example, I want to retrieve some rows from the DBMS table. Then simply use only 2 tags. You can go for set data source tag and you can go for query tag. Okay, if you want to do some DML operations, then simply go with SQL data source and SQL update. Observe the difference. So in JDBC, you have to write a complicated logic. When coming to JSTL, it is very easy to write JSP JDBC programming. Okay, in the next session, we are going to concentrate on JSTL JDBC programming using JSTL tags. Okay, thank you.